Alright, it seems the boss is dead. We're just gonna go ahead and distribute the loot here. And,
I'm hoping for some teeth.
there's no loot. I repeat, there is no
Want some
Yeah.
Want some loot?
Yeah.
Maybe you're gonna have to wait till next week. No loot, no loot, no loot, no loot, no loot, no loot, no loot. No loot Sundays.
Oh, hi, fans. I am Braille. Welcome to No Loot Sundays, as my screen goes black. There we go. Here, as always, with my boy, my buddy, my best friend, my co-host, my... What do they call it? My better side... My better side Strimple. Oh, Faye. I mean, Faye. Faye's here, everybody. Hi, Faye.
Yeah.
Corny jokes out of the way. Get them out of the way early. How you doing, Faye?
Oh, I'm doing much better. I have internet again. I was hit by some surprise winter weather for my area of the country. We normally don't get winter weather, but once a year, and it's always in January. And then out of the blue, early December, we get hit by snow to where there's about 6 inches of it out on the driveway.
Jeez.
We end up not getting. Lose my power, so I spent a decent amount of time without being able to do anything this weekend. And then add to that, I had to wake up at like 5:30 this morning to work, and oof.
It sounds like it would be really, really cold.
Oh yes, the worst part of it is I woke up at 5:30.
That's the worst part.
Shower.
Oh, okay.
At 5:30 to shower, and then I go outside and remember that, oh yeah, last night when I tried to clear off my windshield, it was too dark and I kept slipping, so I was like, I'll just wait till the morning to clear off my windshield. So I had to clear off 4 inches of snow off my windshield and then get down the hill. So yeah, no bueno.
Yeah, that sounds like a terrible, terrible way to be without power and in the snow. Awful.
Yeah. Oh, it was cold.
Oh, man. Well, I had something I was going to bring up, and I remembered it while the music was playing, and I was excited to talk about it, and then I forgot what I was going to bring up. So it's like literally it's been out of my mind constantly until like, right during the intro, and now it's gone again, which really sucks because it was going to be interesting, and I was excited to tell you specifically. But man, hopefully it'll come back, and I'm sure it will in the middle of the show, and it'll just be like, "Oh, Faye, by the way," and we'll be like, "This is not a good time for this."
Just take a left turn.
I just told you that my grandmother died. Like, this is not a good time for you to tell me about that grandma you hit with the car. No. So yeah, but it's everything's been going good over here. I'm doing really well. This week, what did we do this week, Faye? We did something. I feel like there's something that Blizzard gave us credit for doing this week. And what was that? It had to do with a certain thing that people are doing. Was it a raid?
Yeah, I think there's a raid this week.
That we completed, got world first mythic kill, if I remember right. We officially, by Blizzard standards, beat normal in Taurus this week. It was a good moment. It always is a good moment whenever you get that first clear with your guild, and it's as opposed to last week where WoW Progress gave us the credit, and me and Faye, I believe if I remember right, Faye, we agreed that like this didn't really count. Because it was not our raid group. Like, it wasn't our core raid group.
I'm surprised that WoW Progress gave us credit because of how few people were our raid.
You only need like 7 out of 11 or something like that. And I think that's what we had when we killed normal Argus the first time. So I can see why WoW Progress gave us credit, and I like that they give you like lower standards than Blizzard does, but even still, like, Blizzard standards, like, now that it's this way, it feels more realistic to me to be like, this isn't a guild kill until like it's my guild group where we don't have pugs and stuff. And
see, that is not where I thought you were going with that, because you're like, yeah, we did something, and I thought you were going to start talking about how we decided to do our Mythic 15 at like last minute on Monday night.
oh my God, that's right. Yeah, I remember because last Sunday I said that like, yeah, we're not going to be getting it done this week. And then lo and behold, Monday night at like 11 o'clock, we were just like, all right, let's go do fucking Mythic 15 and get it done. And we did. We actually got it done. It was great.
Yeah. It was.
And then I didn't get an upgrade, and I don't think Faye got an upgrade. It was nice.
Oh no, I did. I got a decent necklace. I mean, it's mostly because Windwalker right now for me, every stat is equal priority as far as weight goes. So it doesn't matter what I get. If it's eye level, it's an upgrade.
Yeah. Did you get so as far as Antorus has gone this week? Because I feel like or gone in general for the last 2 weeks, anyways. I feel like you should go ahead and tell everyone how your loot's been doing, because you have a lot to brag about.
So far in our normal runs, my first week, I got a single piece of gear across 2 characters for normal runs. It was a piece of it was the tier chest, which I gave to our other tank, the only other monk in our raid team, because I'm wearing Emperor's Capacitor, and I probably will not get rid of it for this raid just because it seems to be really good for me. So I gave away my 1 tier.
Because you're a good guy, Faye.
Yeah, exactly. I'd have to check, but I think what ended up happening, because I do now have 2 pieces of tier on him, but I'm pretty sure it's because both of them I did farm the same boss multiple times on normal just to use bonus rolls
tokens
for it, because I just have not gotten anything dropping naturally yet from Tomb, and that just
Antorus.
or not Tomb, Antorus.
Yeah,
and it's just so frustrating. But man, interestingly enough, I'm like, I don't know why I'm complaining so much, because you could go months and months in the old days without getting tier.
I feel like that's
you get used to having tier on a consistent basis.
Yeah,
and if when you don't,
absolutely.
It's like, oh, come on, man.
Especially when you're like when all 3 difficulties are open up, it's easy to get your set done, because you can go through LFR, go through normal, and go through heroic, and if you're a mythic raider, you even go through mythic, and you can get your set. And but thinking more towards Antorus and what's going on right now, it seems like the paradigm has kind of shifted a bit, where it's like you used to wait so long to try to get your tier and try to get your item level up and everything, that now it's like, now you wait because your item level's up to the point where you can't get upgrades anymore, and you have to wait for the next content to come out to get your item level up. And like, that kind of sucks, but it's also completely justified. It really, to me, like, understandable and justified. Like, it is necessary to be able for the majority of people. It helps the game for the majority of people to be able to keep up, because you have more people to do the content with, so I can't really hate on it, unfortunately, even though like every fiber of my body tells me I want to hate on it. I can't really hate on it.
For me, a lot of it just reinforces and drives home. I'm interested to see, and we're still a long ways off, but I'm interested to see with Battle for Azeroth, with tiers going away, to where, because like even now, if I get all a normal tier set for my monk, I don't think I can really equip it until I have all 4 pieces. Like, I don't think it's an upgrade for me damage wise until I have all 4 slots. Just because of that set's what gives me the power, not the actual pieces of gear. And this 2 pieces just kind of worthless. It's not worthless, but it just makes you overcap resources.
Yeah, absolutely.
In a lot of ways. And it's just like, oh yeah, now you you already get Blackout Kick all the time for your free procs, and they're not doing anything until you get the 4 piece. I want that 4 piece really bad.
Yeah, I feel the same way about the Survival Hunter tiers. I'm waiting for that 4 piece, man. I haven't even gotten the 2 piece yet. I've gotten like 1 piece of tier so far on my hunter, and I think my gloves, it was 930 piece of gear, and I was excited, and then I looked at it and was like, oh good, I'm replacing a Titan Forge 930 piece of the last set, which means there's absolutely no reason to equip that glove until it's like the last piece I need for my fucking set piece. So, woo, Titan forging.
Now, did you end up getting your Garrison?
My Garrison, yeah, I got it.
Your class hall quest for Antors.
Wait, what? There's a oh yes, from the order hall table.
Order hall, yeah.
Man,
Yeah,
I got excited. I thought there was a new story. Oh,
No,
I thought you were about to drop a bomb on me, Faye.
I don't have any as far as I know this week. Although
you'll surprise us both.
Yeah, the only one. Yeah, the last quest I got that involved my order hall was the heirloom order hall quest that comes from the Argus campaign.
Yeah, which I don't think I've gotten.
Yeah, well, you have to get 6 followers to 950, and seems like the quest for the I guess they call them quests, mission. Yeah, mission that gives you the 950 piece of gears seems pretty rare for me. It took me. I just finished getting it this week, and I've been kind of doing it.
Damn, son, I got that on Briola ages ago. You were way behind the time. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it felt like that because of how few and far between the missions showed up. So
gotta use that app. Gotta catch them whenever they're there.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, I would keep all my followers out. I would keep all my followers out at every pretty much whenever I could. So.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That way you could get them and get the missions going. It's what I do whenever it's around, what is it, the command table? Command center? The Broken Isles buff that gives you like 3 missions on your order hall table. One of them's for crazy AP, one of them's for a bunch of nether shards, and then one of them, or there's a third one, isn't there? I feel like there's a third one.
You're talking about the you've got the nether shards, the resources, and
something else.
AP. Yeah, the AP.
Oh, okay. So
the massive AP
that's
one,
right.
Like it's 19 billion,
yeah.
I think this time.
Yeah, I get that every time it's up, man. That's free massive AP. You bet.
Yeah, 19.6 billion.
It's good stuff.
I mean, that's one thing that I finally hit 75 traits on my
congrats,
Windwalker
dude.
spec this week, and then 66 on both tank and healer spec. So I'm getting there.
Congrats, man.
So I finally have
Braille's on his last level.
The additional. Yeah, I made sure to do it right before our second night of raid.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we started heroic this week. How long do you think it's going to take us to get through that? I'm not asking for a bet. Whoa. Bet. Never mind.
Gold first.
I'm not, that's right. I've got a legendary on the auction house. Damn it. No.
I mean, I've got a BOE. That was one thing I did get out of Antors that was rare, was a bind on equip that will not sell.
Nice. That's always your favorite. You eventually have to mark it down to like 1,000 gold, and then somebody might buy it for not buyout. But
yeah.
Christ.
I may hold on to it because it does look. It's a pretty interesting looking piece of gear, so maybe it'll go up in price eventually.
Yeah.
Or am I kidding? But no, having the 75 trait really does feel interesting. Now I just have to start chasing the good traits.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to get to the final level of my artifact weapon. Well, not of the artifact for Netherlight Crucible. I'm excited for that. I really want to just kind of be done feeling required to do the grind. I was pretty happy with just acquiring the fuck is that called? The stupid points that you get where, for me, I get a shitload of versatility.
Oh, Concordance.
There it is. Yep. Jesus Christ, brain fart city tonight. I like being able to get those at my own pace, whereas with Netherlight Crucible, it kind of felt like I actually had to engage the grind, is how it felt. And I don't like that.
Yeah, and I definitely did not want to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I know that I could have gotten it significantly quicker, but man, it's I don't know. I'm not a big fan of pugging the content. I just I don't know. The community is part of the reason why that keeps me playing. And if I'm pugging, I'm not really getting that because most pugs are just toxic and garbage.
It's not really community at that point. It's just kind of participating in content, which is, I mean, if you like that, cool. I definitely prefer the community side. I mean, that's kind of the benefit of being on an RP realm is that you can kind of walk outside and find community that will talk to you, but you just have to pretend you're an orc, you know. But
which is somewhat difficult to do when you're a blood elf.
Or really, really drunk.
No. See, if you're a blood elf, at least if you're a blood elf or any monk, you can pretend you're drunk really, or be drunk and just.
There you go.
You're in character already.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I usually just go sit at the bar in Orgrimmar, and I get really drunk while I'm sitting there, and then somebody will approach me, and I'll just be like, okay, I'm a drunk orc now. And that's what I'm doing. And it's like
what is my motivation?
It's it's a great Friday night. Oh my god, I'm so sad. No, it's a great Friday night. Do you want to get into some news there, Faye?
Yeah. Let's jump right in on news.
Let's start with the big one that you dropped on me right before the show started.
Celestalon. Yeah, Celestalon is no longer
working on WoW.
He moved to the Hearthstone team.
So what did Celestalon do? Who is he?
So I mostly just remember seeing his portrait on the forums a lot. I'd never really investigated it, but according to the blue post for when he left, he was working on classes, systems, spreadsheets, and occasionally obscure quest lines.
Interesting.
So based on that, with systems and classes together, I'm assuming it's not like upfront like class design. It's more like back end class design. So you'd be talking about like the mechanics that make the classes work, not so much the we want monks to be this, we want mages to be this.
This sounds this kind of like interests me because you're taking a guy who was working on class design, as far as the back end where you're talking about the mechanics, right?
As far as I
Right.
know, I mean, I could be off bases, and he was actually working.
Well, what I'm about to say is incredible speculation, so it's going to work this way. So you've got this guy working on class design, and now you've taken him over to Hearthstone. Does this mean that Hearthstone might be getting a new class soon?
Maybe, but I think it's just I think they just want to bring in some more interesting card design. To be honest,
Probably.
they've done some great things with kobolds, and I think they're just going to keep iterating and improving on it. But
I think there were some things you wanted to tell me about kobolds, but I think we're going to get to that later.
Yeah,
right?
We'll get to that later. Okay. Yeah, well, once we talk about
our
what we
I've written here. Faye wants to tell me about K and K, so. Which I think it might be K and C, but whatever. Other Hearthstone news. You want to drop the Hearthstone bomb tonight? Here, what's going on?
So I'm not sure if this was PTR or last patch, but there is a new card back that has been added. Not unlockable yet. It's got half of it is gold and blue. The other half is Horde red and iron colored, and then you've got the Alliance and Horde symbols on the top and bottom with a fiery Hearthstone symbol in the center of the card. So
what could that be for?
One of the interests, and its text is, war is a terrible thing, although highly profitable for both red and blue flag makers. So typical Hearthstone humor.
Yeah.
It is listed as being for special promotion and the same category as the other WoW Overwatch Collector's Edition card backs. So the assumption is that pre-purchase may be coming soon, and that will be like the reward for buying the special edition of the, I guess, EFA, as it is being called these days.
I like the barf. I like the I like the when they give you pets and mounts and stuff whenever you get the in-game WoW treats that you get whenever you get the collector's edition. That made me buy the collector's edition of Legion to get I think it was the demon mount, the fucking, what the hell is it called? The hunter, the magic hunter, fell hunter. Something Hunter, Demon Hunt? No.
The Fellhounds.
Maybe.
I know what you're
I don't
talking
know.
about. The one that came with Legion.
Yeah, that guy. He's cool. I liked him. And then you get the little puppy, and whenever you have them
thought you
both
could
out at the same time, it makes a little heart between them. It's adorable.
Yeah, isn't that from wasn't that digital deluxe edition though?
I think so. I don't get the physical deluxe edition. What am I, a plebeian? Jesus.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe you wanted some of those interesting.
I like my
shenanigans that
walls.
someone would like. Shenanigans, because I can't think of the actual word. You know.
I like my walls like I like my women. Bear. All right. A little,
You don't want a statue of Illidan or
getting
of,
a little more
Argus?
PG-13. Yeah.
No,
I do not. I don't.
PG-13.
I don't want a statue of Argus in my room. Whoa. Man, this ball's got a crack in it. Yeah. It's Argus, son. No. Yeah. So pre-purchase might be coming soon. Other than that,
Yeah, at least that it hints towards it.
yeah, I hope. I really hope we get pre-order soon because I just want to.
Speaking of, I kind of want to do some speculation on that.
All right, let's do it, Faye.
because-
Let's speculate.
So, with a lot of stuff we've seen showing up on PTR, we've got a lot of information about High Mountain Tarn and Lightforged Draenei, Void Elves, and Nightborn. So, with all that considered and pre-purchase around the corner, a lot of people speculate that pre-purchase is going to unlock, maybe not immediately, but similar to how you could play Demon Hunter early, you'll be able to play those specific races early. I don't think you'll be able to unlock all the races early.
I hope.
Because we don't have any information about the dwarves and what's that other
Zendalari trolls.
annoying they're
That
not
other
important.
annoying fucking.
It's not like they're
I
the
don't
original
like
race.
this
of-
expansion at all.
yeah, they're definitely not one of the original races.
Yeah,
not the
they're
founding.
not that important. Come on.
Night elves didn't come from them or anything like that.
That is interesting though that the oldest race in WoW is now going to be oldest race from Azeroth is now going to be playable. I think that's pretty interesting. Outside of, well, I guess anything. The oldest living race that has been afflicted by the touch or the curse of flesh or whatever is going to be playable. There we go. Just so that nobody can correct me later, as far as I know.
Oh no, well they'll find a way.
They're like,
This is,
cats were here first.
Nah, it's definitely the dogs. Yeah. So
How
yeah,
did trolls
to
survive
me-
if they couldn't eat insects? Sorry, I took that.
I don't
joke
know.
out too long.
There are some people who are saying that they expect it with 735. I kind of doubt that.
Can't see it being that soon. I think we'd see beta before we see it. Honestly,
We may see some quest lines involving unlocking them for it
Yeah.
with the emissary, but I don't think we're going to actually see it unlock until much later.
I just
but
hope
we'll
there's not
see.
a rep grind. Like I'm a little rep grinded out right now between
No, why?
having done the Argus stuff and having done the Suramar stuff. I'm just like, no more rep grind for a little while. Let me take my rep grind break.
Yeah, I've still haven't gotten exalted on Army of the Light. I have not been willing to run through.
The emissary hasn't been
Over and
showing
over.
up recently, man. It's been terrible.
Army of the Light was today's emissary, as far as I know.
Oh, good. I haven't really logged on today, so good.
Yeah, I mean, like that's the first thing I noticed when I actually was able to log on today was, hey, look.
I'm trying to get
Army
it
of the Light.
on my hunters, so that way I don't have to keep doing LFR on all my characters and sending him the stupid augment runes, because I will not pay 26,000 gold for one augment room auction house.
See, I've been holding on to mine because I only use them if we get like that. We're so close to getting the boss. We just need a little push.
Right. Like
Where the hell are we
whenever
going?
you get killed Jaden to 8%. Yeah. What else we got going on for news? I feel like there might be a little something with tier sets, right? Couple updates there.
Yeah. There's some minor updates. I mean, most of it's just you've got the what was it? The Rogue tier set got I think it was a nerf.
Wrecked.
Up again. So yeah, your assassination tier set. Actually, no, sorry. Assassination got a buff, which both the tier sets got a buff. Man, I read that backwards when I first read it. I was so with assassination, it was returning what was it? 3 energy or 2 energy whenever your poison is critical striked, and now it will return 3 energy. And subtleties, theirs was enhanced crit chance from 3% up to 4% now. Then you also had. Let me actually go in alphabetical order rather than listing off the first one I could think of.
Okay.
So we've got Havoc Demon Hunter. 2-piece bonus increases eye beam damage has been increased by 10%. So it was a 30% bonus. Now it is a 40% bonus.
So,
yeah, it's not bad, but I mean, it's still it still feels like they're trying to force you to use eye beam and
if you want
single
to
target.
use eye beam, make it viable.
I mean, it has so many things about it that make it seem like it should be viable, but
I know, it
takes
me.
too long to cast.
Tricked me the entire expansion, man.
Because like you've got that. You also have that artifact trait that's like, oh yeah, it adds a dot with the damage. Like that makes it even more viable.
Nope, still not enough.
The only way it was viable, and it was just briefly viable, was with demonic, which would force you into what would you call that form? Demon form, metamorphosis. I guess they call it demon form. So the 4-piece is the haste bonus is increased to 25%. It was 15% on the gear. So these seem to be honestly pretty huge buffs to tier sets, in my opinion.
That's
at
good.
least so far. Then you got Balanced Druids. Their 4-piece got a nerf. Starfurs and Starfell now increase your haste by 2%. It was 3%. Stacks up to 4 times, and it was 5 times. So that is a pretty big nerf to their 4-piece, I would say, because you've decreased it by an entire %, and then you also decreased the number of stacks. So before you could get, what is that, 15% haste from it, and now you can get 8% haste.
But what did they do to my survival hunters?
Survival hunters got nothing. Congratulations.
Really? I am shocked.
They are, I guess there's not enough people playing them, or they're in a good place, whichever you want to call it.
I'm not going to call it the latter. I will not call it the latter. I refused.
Beastmaster Hunter got a 4-piece change.
Go to hell.
So there's Kill Command reduced the cooldown of Aspect of the Wild by 2.5 seconds. It was 1.5. So that I would call that a doubling almost.
Jesus.
Or close to it.
Why do I play survival?
Marksman, I don't know. We've been asking this question. I still think you should be on Fury or Arms, personally.
It's boring, though. Fury is just boring as shit, and I don't want to take the time to learn Arms. I already took that time to learn survival. I didn't even learn it.
Yeah, we did look over your logs and found some holes, but
that's what
everyone
this
has
week's
holes in their
project
rotations.
has been finding my holes. That's been the project this week.
You know, you can probably find someone. That's going out of the PG-13 area.
All right.
You can probably find someone on the street for that.
Oh God.
Marksmanship, mark shot now has a 50% chance. Was a 30% chance to fire an extra mark shot. Up to 3 additional targets. So, a lot of people like on the Discord and forums for marksmanship was like, hey, yeah, this will become a meme build of some sort, and it's not. It's definitely not going to be. Like, no one's going to take. I can't remember which talent it is that just lets mark shot do more damage. It's just not worth enough.
I know it's not viable at all.
I mean, the build is in place, and I think it's similar with Demon Hunter, where it's like, stop trying to make I-Beam a thing. It's not going to be a thing.
Got any other tier changes?
Yep, I'm just
keep going down the list.
It is a big list. So the next one is Brewmaster. Then these are actually, just so people know, these already went live. These were hot fixes during raid. 4-piece dodging attack now reduced the remaining cooldown of Breath of Fire by 2 seconds. It was only reducing it by 1 second, which from PTR is still not as good as the PTR version, which was just resets the cooldown. But And we can't all have nice things. Already talked about the rogue. Affliction locks. Their 4-piece was nerfed. It was granting 15% haste. It's now granting 10% haste. That is their tier 19 or tier 20. Tier 20s was nerfed. So I guess people were doing the thing that they were doing with what would you call that, monk and druid, and what other classes kept using their old tier. I'm trying to remember. I do know that priests still want their old tier.
I was about to say,
tier,
I think priests might have been. Monk, druid, warlock didn't. Their tier was great. Maybe some prot warriors might have. Because that guess who forgot to silence their phone, everybody.
This guy. And then their 4-piece for 21 got a buff. So Unstable Infliction and Seed of Agmar increased the Seed of Corruption, increased the damage of targets taken from your Agony and Corruption by 15%. It was a 10% buff. So it's a slight increase. Then you've got Arms Warrior, got a looks like a nerf. If I'm reading that right. I mean, I haven't played Arms Warrior, so this goes to Mr. Bray to tell me. The amount of bonus Mortal Strike damage events has been reduced to 2 during Bladestorm, was 3, and 1 during Ravengers was 2. Yeah, that's definitely a nerf.
That's a nerf.
Yeah.
I understand if you have to say it out loud, but it is.
Yeah, I was just reading it. I was like, I read it out loud. Yeah, that's definitely a nerf.
Yeah,
that sucks. But
it does. It does suck. But at least Arms is still strong in Raid.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, like, if you look at the current rankings for, I would say Heroic, because it's pointless to look at at Mythic, because...
Too new.
Yeah, too new. Arms is still pretty high up there as far as, if you're talking, like, 90th percentile.
Yeah. They're
kind of middle of the pack. Affliction Locks and Shadow Priest are still just up top. But honestly... And this is kind of goes to all of those multi-target specs. I think a lot of it can be considered padding, especially on certain fights. I'm thinking of, well, I guess not. I was thinking of the council fight, the Coven, where because the bosses are going to heal back up, you can dot them all up, and that's just going to pad your numbers. But
yeah, that's I don't know.
But it also could just be Affliction is just really still strong. This is probably the first tier in a while that Windwalker Monk is as strong as it is.
Yeah, Windwalker's surprisingly strong this tier.
Now, I will say that there was a great someone did some great data analysis on like the importance of gear, and it's just kind of showed how poorly the Windwalker scaling is, and that's a lot of Windwalkers are like, hey, yeah, we're great. But it's the beginning of tier. We expect it to start plateauing as everyone starts getting gear, and it's just like, oh well, there we are again. I guess so. Those are your tier bonuses coming this week, or came out this week. They did a second hotfix the day after for some the Arms Warrior 2-piece for Juggernaut Battle Gear was now properly activates the artifact ability. So it was just straight up bug.
Nice.
And then Restoration Druids had a bug with their healing effect wasn't interacting properly with Flourish and Essence of Gnair. So, and then one other note that I'd say major, if you want to call it that. If you want Agrimar's Sword or Argus's Scythe, your class has to be able to equip either a for the Agrimar's Sword, you have to be able to equip two-handed weapons. If your class can't, two-handed swords. If your class can't do that, it's never going to drop for you.
So
and for the Scythe Omen Maker, you have to be able to equip polearms. If you can't equip polearms, you can't get it.
So if you want the sword, you have to be either a warrior, paladin, hunter, death knight. Who else can equip two-handed swords? Shit. Is that it? Warrior, Paladin, Hunter, Death Knight.
As far as I know, that
and if you want the pole arm, you have to be Hunter, Death Knight, Warrior, Monk, Paladin. Paladins can't use pole arms.
No, Paladins can use pole arms.
They can?
Yep.
All right, so Paladin.
I know because my Ret Paladin has a mod instead of Ashbringer because I didn't want to have Ashbringer.
And then who's the other ones that can use fucking pole arms? That might be it.
Sounds about right.
That's a shame. I feel like they should let staff holders be able to get the scythe, but I also understand that they're like, we want this scythe to be a weapon you use, not something that sits on your back. So when they did the remake of casting animations, they could have incorporated staves or whatever. I wish they would have. Come on.
To be honest, it is not as easy as you make it sound because there's so many different staves and all that stuff. But still,
something they should have done when the game came out. Jeez.
Yeah. The only other news for the week that I know of is there's more of the PTR updates. They've kind of put out a blue post talking about how to register the PTR. They really want people in there testing the level scaling. The level scaling from what people, you logged in and said, I'm not going to deal with this shit and logged out.
Tested.
The one thing that some people were complaining about was the fact that the amount of experience needed is more.
Yep.
The thing that you got to go in considering is, yes, leveling may take a little bit longer, but honestly, I don't think it will because you're no longer going to have to stop questing mid-zone. Like, yes, if you were someone who immediately when the quest turned yellow from orange or turned green, you left the zone and abandoned all quests, then yeah, it's probably going to take longer. But if you actually continued through the storyline, or at least only left when they were green, I think you're going to level at the same speed because you're going to be able to stay in a zone a lot longer and actually go through all the quests. You don't have all the additional travel time of flying to the next zone for your level scaling. So
here's my thought on all of this because I'm gonna be rude and interrupt you. So leveling can take as long as Blizzard wants it to take. Like I don't care personally how long leveling takes. It could literally take me a year and a half at breakneck speed to get to level 110, and I really don't care because the reality is the upgrade or level boost. There it is. The level boost is available for $60, and if I really want somebody max level now, I can get that. And to me, if it's going to take forever, but the content is engaging, then I'm happy because like that's the big thing about leveling that I hate is that the content's not engaging. And from everything I have heard, with level scaling put into place the way it is on PTR right now, it's very engaging, is what I've heard.
Not engaging enough for you to be willing to spend the time and then have to do it when it goes live.
That's because it doesn't count.
Yeah.
Like, that's my big thing, is, like, it doesn't count. This character I would spend so much time working on would just be destroyed as soon as the server goes live, and I don't want to fucking deal with that.
Yeah, as far as the splash screen that we're getting, the newest version, so you know how with each patch we get a splash screen. The 7.3.5 splash screen shows Time Walking Ulduar, Scaling World, and then Legion Epilogue. So the Legion Epilogue quest will be coming. Screenshots and some of the, I guess, spoiler type things is we've got some updates to the world. The sword is no longer red, the one that's stabbed into. So it is actually there. They're no longer like the sword is no longer just a pink square. So it hasn't been removed, but it looks like it will no longer. I think after we cleanse it or whatever we're going to do, it's going to change color and be drained. But
oh yeah, I guess because the ending of Legion is basically the story of how we lose our artifact weapons. So
yeah,
so
there's still no hint of what's going to happen with our artifact weapons when we lose them. Like
I know the popular rumor right now is that between that and Datamine voice files, what is to be concluded at the moment is that we are going to be using our weapons to draw out the. I know that. I'm more concerned with what we're going to do
after we do the quest line, how are you going to play your character without your artifact weapon? Like, are you keeping it and it just disappears when the next expansion drops, or are you getting
some
a
orc walk up and
placeholder?
sorry,
Like, there's a lot of problems with this, because it's like, if you do that quest line when 735 releases and you're still raiding, you just crippled yourself.
I feel like some orc is just gonna walk up and be like, "I have a shovel," and like just hand you a shovel. And it's like, okay, here we are again, back at the beginning.
Yeah.
No more super amazing weapon to beef me up. I'm not gonna be happy about losing my artifact weapon. I know that. I put a lot of time and effort into all of my artifact weapons that I have, and I don't want to lose them.
Oh yeah, I do have some attachment.
Yeah,
The ups and downs and all the fun with them. It's not all bittersweet.
What did I want to tell you earlier? At the
Did you
beginning of the
remember
show. No, I thought I was going to remember by now, and now I'm like panicking. Because I feel like I was supposed to remember. It's a shame, really.
Awesome. Yeah, it sounds like it.
I don't know, man.
Oof.
Who knows? Maybe it'll come back by the end. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll be next week's big hidden gem. Who knows? Other than that, that's about it for the news. Do you want to move on to our big segment, or do you have anything else you want to talk about first?
Not that I can think of with the news. I guess, there's one other thing that I just recalled.
This fucker.
So,
This
if
motherfucker.
I am wrong, I believe during Tomb of Sargeras, Convergence of Fate was nerfed down to 2%. As far as the proc, which is that it reduces your cooldown by 2%, or was 4%, or maybe it was 5%. Reduces your cooldowns anyway. It was nerfed, then it got buffed back up to 4%. It's been nerfed again to 3%, but the stats on it have been buffed by 15%. So they're trying to make it more like, no, eye level is important for it, not the proc, but that proc is still just stupid strong.
Yeah, it is.
Reducing your major cooldown, I don't know why anyone thought that was going to be a good idea. It's like, hey, let's design something that's going to be very hard for us to ever beat and put it on one of our first raids.
It sucks. And that kind of goes back to the Arcano Crystal, too. Like, this is something I've talked about with Strimple quite a bit, is that the Arcano Crystal, like, because you can farm it to be Titan Forged and all that, and, like, yeah, it sucks to, like, only get maybe 2 chances a week or some shit between
not anymore, but
killing the boss and, yeah, right. Between killing the boss and using your coin, as much as Withered Gym was up, people were able to get Titan Forged versions of it. And it's like, that won't be replaced until Blizzard literally makes an identical legendary stronger. Like, that's insane.
I mean, like, a lot of my sims will show that, like, it just isn't an upgrade because it's too low. Because I've got an 860, I think, on my monk of it.
I'm talking about the Titan Forge version though, Faye. Like, Titan Forge is up to like 920. It's crazy.
Well, not the one from Jim. In order to get the 940, you have to get it from Argus.
Oh, my bad.
You can get it from Nether Shards at, I think, what was the effective cap. I mean, there's no true cap to Titan Forging, but it's statistically almost impossible to get it that high because you're rolling. If you do, oh man, you should go buy a lottery ticket.
If you get it to 920.
From Wither Jim himself.
Gotcha. Yeah, from Wither Jim. Yeah.
The number of procs you have to roll on.
Yeah, that's true.
One last piece of news before we move on.
Okay.
In case anyone didn't know and got one more night to do it, you need to kill Argus on normal or higher to get your Pantheon's Blessing, which is the item that will upgrade your epic trinket by 5 item levels. They start dropping this week, and as long as you kill the boss each week, you'll get the item. You will always get the Pantheon's Blessing, even if you don't have the trinket, so that you're not behind anyone who does have the trinket. Yes.
Oh, that's nice. I didn't know that. That is really good news.
Yeah, so it should be dropping for everyone. And it unlocked this week. Like, you could get the trinkets last week, but the upgrades didn't start dropping until this week. I was curious as to why it didn't drop last week, and I found that out.
Yeah, that makes sense because I got that trinket, the one that you're supposed to use the upgrade on this week, and I also got an upgrade token this week, and I was like, whoa, like I got super lucky, but it turns out I just got really lucky, not super lucky. So
you still got the trinket.
Yeah, I fucking
you
love
didn't-
that trinket. Holy
And
shit.
the best part is, and this is why, like once every guild is probably going to want to farm, or at least kill, clear normal and Taurus 4 times to unlock the last 2 bosses, because you're going to want to kill Argus on whatever difficulty. Now the Pantheon will drop one, Pantheon's Blessing only drops once per week, regardless of normal, heroic, mythic. You'll only get it from one of them. It doesn't matter which one. So, but the trinket also, they all start at 940. It doesn't matter what difficulty. So if you get the trinket, you get the trinket. That's my understanding of it. So you will want to go to whatever version you can farm easily and just keep killing them every week until you have your trinket. Because it's just, they all. I just looked at the loot tables, and they all drop at 940. So you just get it and you just use it wherever you get it from.
You heard him, ladies. You just get it and use it. But
I mean, that's how you use birth control. That's how you use trinkets. Just saying.
Yeah. I'm done waiting. I'm really excited to talk about the Mythic Plus race, which is our big subject of the night.
The Mythic Plus race. Wow.
Yeah, the Mythic Plus race, the BDI, the what? No, wait, was it? Wait, shit, was it MDI? Yeah, MDI, Mythic Dungeon Invitational. That's what BDI.
It sounds like either an STD or a bowel syndrome.
or like some take on body measurement. Yeah. So I want to, before we get into like the breakdown of the, you know what? Actually, let's start with the breakdown of the week. Let's do this in chronological order. Okay, I want to talk about this some. Faye, if you wanted to like mute yourself to be able to do anything, now's the time because I'm about to start talking. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this week the Mythic race started. This was the rating the big event that I always look forward to and get very excited about. If you've been following me on Twitter, I have been posting about this all week because something that people weren't expecting to happen has happened. People were not expecting Limit to compete with the EU guilds. Nobody expects America to compete with the EU guilds. Generally, we don't really. Like, I think it's been something like 4 years since we've won or gotten a world first at the end for the final boss of a raid. Like, it's been a long time, if we've ever done it. Because now that I think about it, was Death and Taxes EU, Faye?
I thought Death and Taxes was US. I
Okay.
do know that they have a presence in almost every MMO I've ever played.
Right.
So.
Death and Taxes was the big boy, I believe, at the beginning of WoW, followed by Nihilum. Nihilum, was it? No. Elysium. No. It was Nihilum, I think. And they were the ones that, I believe, when AQ came out, they got the world first. And then I think they got... I could probably look all this up right now, but I'm not gonna, because I'm excited to talk about this race specifically. So aside from the crap about whether or not US has won in a long time, they're competing now, which is something I've been waiting for. I've been wanting a US to like actually have a chance. This week, Tuesday, shut up. This week, Tuesday, before the Europeans and Russians are able to get their hands on it, Limit goes in there and downs the first 9. They kill Coven for the last kill of the night, and that's where they stop. This got me riled up. I was like, okay, I didn't expect to be this close to the end after day one. And my thought at this point was like, okay, Method and Exorcist are going to come in hot. They're going to come in, hungry for it, and they're probably going to take over the race. And lo and behold, by the end of Wednesday, Method had downed Agrimar, if I remember right, and Limit was still working on Agrimar. And then on the next day after Wednesday is Thursday, and then on Thursday, we saw Limit and Exorcist both catch up to Method and make it a tie game, and it has been there since Thursday. And to me, that is crazy, but here is the fucking crazy part. Limit was the first guild to pull Argus. is the information I've gotten, is that Limit was the first guild to officially pull Argus, and this might be confirmed by Method on their website. Let me check. But to me, that is bonkers that the first pull wasn't Method, because it seems like
it seems like they should be, since they are the day raiding guild. Like,
right.
I mean, because you got like Limit only day raids the first night.
Right.
I hope that their members are able to have time off so that they can act, because they're actually competing for once. Like, I know that's a big thing that like everyone always says. I don't care if you believe it or don't. But a lot of people say the reason the U.S. guilds can't compete is they don't have the amount of vacation time to take, and most of them don't day raid. I think since they're still close, I think they should take some time off and try. We're close enough to the holidays where they should be. A lot of people have saved up vacation, man. They should definitely make an effort. Yeah, exactly. I would take my vacation time if I were raiding at that level too. So now, of course, your whole guild has to do it. So
so what this leads to, I want to correct something I had just said. Well, I want to correct something I just said. I said that's where we stand, is with 3 of them with Agrimar down. There's more guilds with Agrimar down. Number 1 and I believe number 2, China, have gotten Asia, have gotten Agrimar down. We're looking at the top 5 as it is right now is Method, Exorcist, Limit, Memento is what I call them, and Style War. I'm not sure if that's Memento spelled correctly or not. Yeah. But
so you've got 2 EU guilds, one Russian guild, 1 US guild, and 1 Chinese guild.
Yeah, there you go. So
I'm kind of sad that Big Dumb Guild has not gotten Agrimar down.
What if this and the question is, can one of those U.S. guilds get Argus down Tuesday? Because it's become apparent that there's something that is making Argus completely unkillable this week on Mythic, and you would assume that that's going to be what is hot fixed on Tuesday. Now, I would like to also kind of present something that has been recently shown to me. The guild. What guild is this? It's a Chinese guild or a Korean guild. I'm not sure.
Chinese, but I don't know which guild that is.
Why did everything just minimize? Everything just minimized on my computer. Hang on a second.
So one interesting thing while you're trying to figure that out,
I figured.
And this is what I okay.
I'm just an idiot.
I want to talk about this briefly.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's interesting to me, and this was where a lot of people were arguing, like how good they are. So, Limit, Method, and Exonerus, they all killed in the same kill order: Grothi, Worldbreaker, and Torus High Command, blah blah blah. They all killed Fellhounds of Sargeras roughly about the same time frame. So Method killed it 14 minutes after they killed Grothi. Exonerus killed it 13 minutes after it, and Limit killed it 10 minutes after Grothi. So in my mind, they even though they were kind of behind, they didn't get World First Agrimar, or they still that still holds them in my eyes. Then High Command, Limit 15 minutes, Exonerus 16 minutes, Method 21 minutes. These splits were interesting to me. Like the first split was Portal Keeper. Limit took 31 minutes, Exonerus took 24 minutes, and Method took 23 minutes. And it goes on. A lot of the time splits were very close for these guilds. Until MMR is the first big gap for Limit compared to the others. The other ones killed it within Method was an hour. Is it pronounced Exonerus or
Exorcist?
Exorcist, sorry.
Yeah, it's all good.
I'm looking like an idiot. 48 minutes. Limit was an hour and 50 minutes. To me, I'm wondering if they were spending all that time actually working on them or if they were taking a break.
Yeah.
Because this doesn't keep track. This just keeps track of kill times.
So,
Kindroth is where they finally had the divergent, though, like the true divergent, because it took them 6 hours roughly, but after that, the times get close again. Like Agrimar, Coven took them all about the same time. Agrimar obviously took Limit a while because they didn't, I think, even try him again until a couple days after. Based on their armory page for their guild, everything I was saying was just alt characters getting gear from old raids, and it's like that's not them trying to gear up other people for this current raid. Like it's old stuff. I'm like, okay, so they're not progressing, and they're not gearing up other characters in normal or heroic. So what are they doing?
Right. So I need to make another correction of what I said, because I've gotten more information because I've taken the time to look the information up. So it is actually, right now, you can't call it a tie because of how far apart the kills are, but I'm calling it a tie because it's going to be everybody's on Argus on Tuesday, from what it looks like, unless they hotfix them, now. Basically, right now, it's Method, Exorcist, Limit, Memento, Style War, Bleached Bones, Alpha, Scrub Busters, and Easy are all at 10/11, and in 10th place is Big Dumb Guild. So I want to, if anybody from Big Dumb Guild hears this in time, somehow through some magic, I just want to say this: Big Dumb Guild, please get Agrimar down and extend your lockout, and on Tuesday, day raid and do your thing where you go in there and you take that world first kill, because that's what you did with that's what you did with that Tauren High Command. That's what you did with Portal Keeper Azabel. Like, just do it.
do some weird shit.
Yeah, do your weird shit to win it. That'd be amazing, and then we can all hail Big Dumb Guild.
So now there's a speculative question. Do you think that these guilds are going to be extending their lockout?
Absolutely, no doubt.
You think it's actually bugs? That's
well. I think of it.
Well, I guess no. To do this right, the whole guild doesn't have to extend the lockout.
That's exactly it. To me,
it's not like the old days.
Right, exactly. To me, what they're going to do is they're going to have one person who extends their lockout, like we did with Kil'jaeden, extends their lockout, and then they find out if it gets fixed or not. And if it doesn't get fixed, they'll probably just run it again and get more gear, so that way it's easier for them to do once it's fixed. Or so that way they might be able to get it down. I don't know. That's one of my big things, is I don't know what the problem is exactly that's causing this to be impossible for guilds yet. But
is it one of those things where it's not impossible, it's just like, oh, you do need to gear up for it? Like it's a barrier of, you have to kill things this quick and you're just not doing it yet.
I don't know. I wonder, but I don't know. But I can say, and this is something one of our friends shared a video of on our Discord actually a while earlier today. Footage of an Asian guild, and I haven't been able to find out the name of them yet because I don't read their language, and I haven't really taken the time to read their YouTube page. They are doing the secret phase of the Mythic Raid, so I'm going to go ahead and show that with the audio off.
Because the audio will break your speakers, because there's a lot of yelling.
There is a lot of yelling, yes. But this is the phase that starts at 40%, and it takes the place of the last phase that we know on Heroic and Normal. This is on the YouTube channel Direwolf. So I'm going to go ahead and put that up here real quick. Go ahead and maximize that. The quality may not be primo. All right, here we go. I'm basically just playing this directly from YouTube. So, but yeah, as you can see in this video, it starts off there in the final part of the what I call the second phase, and this is kind of what confuses me about this fight on Mythic, because I haven't seen very little video. I've seen very little video of the Mythic fight. This is the part that confuses me, though, because on Heroic and Normal, after this phase, you have the ad phase, essentially, where you have the Celestials come out. Well, not the Celestials from Pandaria, but the stars, the star people. They come out, and you have to fight them off. But on Normal here, or I'm sorry, on Mythic rather, he just goes straight into phase 4. It seems like, which is really interesting. And I'm wondering if there's something after it, and I wonder if any guild's gotten there. I wonder what the percents are. Have you been able to find any of the percents, Faye?
I have not. I did notice, like, I haven't watched it because that guild that you have that footage from, they do have a 6-hour like that same YouTube channel has like 6 hours of progression footage. I assume, based on the fact that they are on him, they are going to be either Alpha or Style War. The player is going to
Yeah, that'd be my guess.
I don't know which one. Again, I do not. I believe that is the clients in simplified Chinese. Which, I mean, I don't read or speak Mandarin or simplified Chinese, so I guess it doesn't matter to me. But
yeah. But to break it down for you, you can see that you've got a healing meter over on the right.
If you wanted to find out those percentages, you could go watch 6 hours worth of footage in a language you don't understand.
But this is just interesting to kind of see what the difference is, because it seems like if you compared this directly to the fourth phase, it's almost completely different in a way as far as the mechanics go. But when you look at the aesthetic of it all, it's all very much the same. You're looking at sights coming from one side of the room, sights coming from the other side of the room, and then a ball that leaves bad on the ground whenever it explodes, and they do nothing to stop the ball. So, which makes me wonder if they're able to stop the ball. Also, those rings I couldn't make out what to do with them other than stand in them. And it looks like if you stack, I don't know.
Yeah, the rings seem to be on players. But what's interesting is the adventure guide does actually say it's still 70% health, 40% health. But they stop at stage 3, so that stage 4 is the hidden one.
Interesting. So it's looking like stage 3 and 4 might be different then.
Well, stage 3 is when Argus reaches 40% health. He is sufficiently weakened such that Aman'Thul is able to subdue him with temporal blast, and then nothing about it. So you get. It sounds like 1 and 2 are roughly the same. Obviously, there's additional mechanics, but they're roughly the same. It's just stage 3 and 4 are a mystery, other than what you can interpret from those videos. So it'll be interesting in, I guess, 3 or 4 weeks, maybe 5 weeks, when you start seeing the guides come out from Method and Limit and everyone putting out their, hey, here's our kill video, and people start writing guides based on these.
Right.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting. This is part of what I like about the Mythic race, is kind of like the mystery of what it is to me, because not being in there working on any of this kind of content, it's very interesting that, just what Argus is on Mythic and how different he is. And if that is true, that this is, only phase 3 of 4, and there's still another phase that nobody knows what's going to happen in after that, shit, man. No wonder he's taking so long. But it also is well, what are the bugs? Why? And there's a video that I wish I had found before we started this episode, but I didn't. It's on Method's website, and SCO apparently is breaking down, who is, I believe, Method's main tank or their raid leader, breaks down why Argus hasn't been killed yet. And
it's on the SCO's Twitter, I believe.
Yeah, it is. So if you wanted to check that out, go to @MethodSCO. It is, or www.method.gg/raidprogress/Antorus, and that you'll be able to get info there, or just do what I do and Google search Mythic World First Race or whatever.
Okay, I just watched it. Just watch it real quick. It looks like he's discussing. It's muted, so it sounds like he's discussing difficulty curve, and it's first 10 bosses, and it's just a graph with it just shooting right up to the moon.
So it's looking like Argus is just really, really difficult.
Yeah, I don't know if that means it's just really, really difficult, or if there may be some bugs that are making it really difficult.
Yeah, you gotta wonder.
It's just Blizzard's goal was, no, you're not beating this week 1.
Maybe, man. Maybe Blizzard's look, maybe Blizzard's look, it's the last raid of the expansion. Let's just make the world first race take 3 months. Just random ass fucking long time. Oh my god.
Yeah, then people start blaming you, such and such guild ended up getting more Aman'Thul trinkets, therefore they're
actually, I want to spitball the.
What if that's what the problem is?
That they need the Aman'Thul trinkets?
They need that proc.
Oh my god.
They need 4. I mean, I
wouldn't be surprised if they had it though already.
Yeah.
But what if they need it to be item level 1000?
No, I don't think that's the case. I mean, the power of those things is not. It's not that big of a difference. Like you're talking about stat differences, not like proc differences.
Wait, are you saying what if they need everyone in the raid to get it?
No, I mean they need enough to be proccing that thing reliably. I think with more people, you get higher uptime.
Yeah, but the thing is the only people that are affected by it are the people who have the trinkets. So like, like if you only have enough people to get it to proc, then you only have like 4 or 5 people that are being affected by the trinket. Like, sure, okay, yes, I get it. That's a quarter of your raid, but like, if the difficulty's going up as high as they're saying it's going up, like, what if it is something that is actually required to be able to like make this mythic version doable? Is to have this proc for everybody? That'd be nuts. That would be ridiculous. And would that be unfair, you think?
No, I mean, because these top end guilds are not. I mean, they're split rating. They're
right.
doing whatever it takes. So I mean, they're have
farming,
the gear. It'll depend on like some people won't get to make the kill and all that stuff, but that's the business.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's definitely like I remember going to bed on I want to say it was Wednesday or Thursday, whatever night that Method had killed Agrimar and then Limit didn't, and I was just thinking like, oh man, like it's over. Method's gonna win. Like, fuck. And then like waking up in the morning to find out that Method didn't win, and I was like, oh shit. And then seeing Limit catch up later that day and being like, whoa, shit! Like, really excited. Like, oh my god. But yeah, so go Big Dumb Guild.
Yeah.
You can do it, guys. I believe in you. I believe so hard.
Well, so what we're seeing is having that trinket or the legendary for most characters is a 2% or 3%. 2% for the trinket alone DPS increase, and roughly a 3% for the proc if you're a DPS. If you're maintaining that ideal 30% uptime, which requires, I think, like 20% of your raid group to have, 20 players to have the trinket. So, you need pretty much all of them to ideal. Like if you want the maximum uptime, which is I think 30%, you have to have everyone has to have a legendary trinket.
Yeah. I know with our raid group, we don't get anywhere near that maximum uptime. Like we get, I know that our trinkets combined proc only, like they proc less than Concordance does. Like it's not that common yet, but hopefully as the raid goes on, like it will become a lot more common.
So it's definitely one of those things where you're talking about a significant portion of overall damage with each DPS player with that trinket, and then you're also talking about improved healing and all the other things that come along with it. So, it's incredibly. It is definitely possible that Blizzard wants more interaction with those trinkets in order for their boss to be killed. I still think that we may see, if there's no actual bugs preventing it, we probably aren't going to see any nerfs for at least another week. I don't expect them to nerf it at week 1, unless
I do.
Like, you really do?
Yes, I fully expect that he's going to be killed on Tuesday. Like, I'm so 100% sure that he's going to be killed, because this isn't the old Raider era. Like, this is the new Raider era where the Mythic Plus race, if it takes longer than 2 weeks, there's a problem, and it's not the players, is how it usually is now. Like,
I don't know, like it killed Jaden even after like his last round of nerfs before he was killed, still took him, I thought, 2 weeks to kill him. So
no, it only took 8 days to get Kill Jaden down, from what I remember. I could be wrong, but I think that's like I just remember it being like he's too because Method extended their lockout and killed Jaden, or no, killed Avatar and then killed No, they didn't extend their lockout. They killed. Yeah, so Method went back and killed
It took
Avatar
them-
again,
their-
got
their
world's
first- their
second
first
kill of Avatar, and then got killed Jaden the next night.
So,
it was 9 days.
Method took from Fallen to Avatar to kill Jaden took 11 days.
From Fallen Avatar to kill Jaden?
Yep, 11 days.
What?
11 days, 19 hours, 31 minutes is how long it took between those two kills.
I did not know that.
Yep.
Damn, it did not feel that long back then.
Next highest guild was 16 days, and then
That's Exorcist, yeah.
yeah.
They were not happy.
So I mean, it was, and like I was talking, Fall of the Avatar alone took a week to kill.
Huh.
Because it took 5 days from the previous boss, and the previous, like, all bosses added together. That was the end of the week. So that was a long tier, and it was hard.
Yeah, maybe I'm just.
And that's only 9
things
bosses
wrong.
too.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing.
And
like,
now here we are at 10 of 11 in the first week. So yeah, I guess like you're kind of due to get your ass handed to you by the last boss at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
I get it from the like. It would just definitely be frustrating to have your difficulty curve that, as they're describing it, it just shoots up with Argus. But I mean, that just means the other bosses are under too. Not that Argus is tuned too high, in my opinion. Like,
I think it's like okay. So to approach this from what information we do have, I would say it's about damn time then, because like it's been a long time since, I don't know, to me it feels like it's been a long time since the final boss of the raid has been this unbeatable monster to other guilds, to me. Like where it's like I don't know. It just feels like it's been so much recently that it's more comp dependent, and as long as you got all your gear out of the last mythic one and do your split farming, like you're gonna get mythic done in a reasonable amount of time. Whereas from the way I've seen Argus described now by Method, and from what I have seen in videos, it seems like Argus is just a brick wall. Like he is just like something that's like, yeah, it's going to take some while to get geared up. It's going to take some while to like, get this boss down. It's going to take a couple of weeks of work, And I like that. I wonder if it's going to hold up though, or if we do see a nerf happen then on Tuesday, which is what I believe will happen.
we're because you're dealing, this is not at, like you're saying, it's not the old days of raiding. The old days of raiding were, it was the guilds versus the boss.
Yeah.
These days, rating it's the guild and their sponsors.
Yeah, that's true.
That can put some sort of pressure on it. I think if I were in charge of the dev and it's not bugs preventing it,
Leave
it's
it
just straight up like, no, you guys are not geared enough for this yet.
As long as you know that boss can be killed with gear that is attainable within the game, leave it alone. Like, that's the hardest form of raiding. Make it be the hardest form of raiding. Let's do it.
And like, it's
that
not
said,
like,
I hate Kill Jaden.
yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's because the argument you hear a lot is, oh, but they don't have a raid team that can test these mythic things. Like, bullshit. I'm pretty sure that they recruited all of elitist jerks to work for them for these raid designs.
Yeah, where do you think Death and Taxes went?
Yeah,
like
they also
where do you think Nihilum went? Like that's where they
whether
are.
Whether they're still like at that level and they just can't compete in the race because they already know the fights. Who knows?
That's true.
I like to think if you're getting paid for this though, you're probably still at that level and maintaining it.
Probably. I think that honestly though, with enough practice, that's something that doesn't go away, especially with WoW. Like so in the StarCraft circuit, you hear about like exploding wrist syndrome, age having an effect on your responses and stuff. But like World of Warcraft doesn't really have that kind of a problem. World of Warcraft,
your internal global cooldowns kind of help with the reaction time stuff.
Right.
I mean, everything has most stuff doesn't occur outside of that reaction time window. In my opinion, like you can watch the fights and such, but like most of it seems to be kind of slow enough.
Faye,
what?
You know what we should do a segment on? Oh, this is a good idea. We should do a segment on what makes a good raider. and talk about just
what offend some people. I see.
No, I don't think so. I think, but we all know there's good raiders and bad raiders, and I think that we could just talk about what makes a good raider, and I think that that's what we're going to segue into after the Mythic race conversation. No, but we might come back to that. But yeah, we're going to go into memes, and memes on memes on memes on memes. But yeah, I interrupted you. Where were you at? Now that you probably can't remember, because I can't remember.
Shit, man.
All right.
No, it was just the fact that you were saying, you were talking about StarCraft and response times, and there's a drop off. Now, I will say, like, there's some stuff that you do. Let me put it this way: raid mechanics, I don't think is something that you lose with age. In fact, I think it just improves as long as you keep that mentality of keeping aware of your surroundings during a fight, and the fact that DPS is secondary, staying alive is mandatory. Whereas rotations and that stuff is the stuff that you have to keep up, and that will deteriorate over time if you do not play it. Like even that, like as long as you're playing an MMO, I'd say, because most MMOs will translate in some form or fashion. They all kind of focus on different play styles, but a lot of them are very similar. It's just the abilities are different. The names of them are different. The animations are different, but the base of it is, you're playing a class in X MMO and it's a direct damage class. Okay, you're going to have some abilities that are hard hitting that have a cooldown. You got to make sure those are always on cooldown. You got to focus on, this ability buffs this ability, therefore you want to use that one before this one. Like, that stuff's basic and will stay with you. Just nailing down the rotation specifically is what varies, and is, I think, an acquired skill that has to be maintained.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And I think that it is something that is completely maintainable, and I think that you see, and I'm sure that, I don't know. Actually, here's a question I actually want to pose now that I think about it. Do you think, just personal opinion, that the raid test team that they have now is the exact same members as the raid test team they had 5 years ago?
I think they've brought in people from other guilds as well. I think honestly their hardest thing is probably dealing with different makeups of type of people. The thing that is always working, I hope, is just that these people are just a raid test team, because there's raiders a lot of time. Well, I could design a better raid. It's like, really? I mean, like, do you really think you could?
No way.
I kind of doubt that, like, because some of this stuff is going to be, you gotta, I don't know. It's an unpopular opinion, but like, a raid kind of needs to be thought of. Maybe you need to have a team made up of people inside and outside, because if you have all raiders, you're going to think of it in terms of raids, and I think you get boring bosses that way. I think you get repeated mechanics, because a lot of raiders kind of get locked in that thing of the mechanics they know and put everything in context of the mechanics they know. And I think, man, imagine if, like, something, you come across a boss that it's incredibly backwards on what you have to do in order to actually beat them. I would love that.
Yeah.
It would be, but like a boss that plays on those preconceptions you have about what you should have to do. The issue is, we're never going to get that. Like,
I wouldn't say never. It's just very unlikely.
Yeah, to me, it kind of goes back to the, and this, I'll touch on this now. We can talk a little bit more about it later.
Okay.
It goes into the argument of what's going to happen with WoW Classic, and people are like, it's going to be just like vanilla, and I'm like, I don't see any way that it can ever be just like vanilla. The mentality of your entire player base has shifted. The access to resources you have has changed.
Right.
The ability to develop add-ons has come leaps and bounds.
Light years, man.
So
it's nuts.
I mean, it's never going to be the same vanilla you played. I'd love to see them keep it as same as possible and try, but you got to realize going into it, like, don't consider this a nostalgia trip. I'm going back to play vanilla that I remember and love. Think of it as a brand new game when it does come out.
All right, we're getting off topic.
White eyes. But there's my statement. I'd like to talk about some of that stuff and
we will
the opinions of the community at some point.
Are we gonna have to make an episode about that one? You think? I can write down.
Yeah, we can
write
do that,
down.
maybe.
Fine, fuck it. We'll do an episode about classic WoW. Jesus. All right. There it's written down. The Mythic Plus race is what we're talking about here. God damn it, Faye, you got me thinking about other shit.
I got you shook.
Yeah, you shook me up, man. You shook me up. All right, here's another question for you. Who do you think wins?
Oh, Method.
Really?
Well,
really?
Okay, so I want Limit to win.
My boy.
I think it's going to be Method or Exorus. What I cannot pronounce
Exorcist.
their name. I cannot pronounce it.
Exorcist. You've never seen The Exorcist?
Yeah, but that's Exorcist, not Exorcist.
Exorcist. Boom! You did it.
Exorcist.
You did it.
Yeah,
you did
it
it.
Feels so wrong.
That's what she
Exorcist
says.
is known for cheesing mechanics and breaking.
Oh,
rules.
here's another question. Jesus, is
So if
Exorcist the
they- if-
biggest bitch guild of them all?
Oh yeah,
They are such bitches.
I mean, so
Bitchy.
so in case we didn't actually discuss this too.
Hold on.
Their strategy on Agrimar involved taking as many demon hunters as possible.
Yes.
Somehow it was bugged. I didn't see the hot fix notes that fixed it, but somehow it was bugged or
And then fixed.
not working as intended. So it was fixed, and
Hold on,
they're like, "Well, we had to redo our strategy."
The important part is the percentages that Exorcist gave. They're like, we got Agrimar down to 8%, and now he's at 80. It's like, mate, look.
I mean,
If you're getting him down to 8%, and this little hot fix makes him so that he can't get past 80, you've got other problems, dude. You've got a lot of other problems.
Then yes, that was definitely something that needed to be fixed.
Yes.
Like, if you can't see that, you're an idiot.
You're like, oh my god.
I mean-
And so compile this with the complaint they had about Tomb of Sargeras, which, if you don't remember, I'll refresh everybody. They complained because Blizzard nerfed Argus after the week of the world first kills came out, which was Method then Exorcist. So Exorcist, having already gotten their spot, complained about the nerfs to Argus. Like, oh god, Blizzard, why'd you have to make us being able to farm gear easier? Like, I get that you like the challenge, but just like shut up. Like, just shut up, like, please. And then did they bitch about something in Nighthold too? I don't know.
Oh, they always bitch about something, and almost always they're like, so they're the guild that made the complicated weak Rs that just straight up broke the raid and like straight up cheesed it, made it way too easy. It's like, you're obviously doing something that's not intended,
Yeah.
and you broke nameplates for everyone because of that. Like, to me, it's interesting. Like, I get it. They are a mythic level guild, and they obviously have the skills to pay the bills. But man,
Quit trying to cheese
if you
it.
have to find every loophole in order
Yeah.
to like, I don't know. Like, maybe you need to recruit better players. Because if the only way you're getting kills is cheesing stuff, or
I wish I had a button I could press that would play the air horn noise when I press it over the stream. So that way when you just said, maybe find better players to the second best guild in the world right now, I could just go, beep, 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 beep. Like, it would have been great. Oh,
I don't know,
shots
like,
fired.
yeah,
Start beef, guys.
I have a lot of I have a lot of I don't know. I played MMOs for so many years, and my interactions with Russian players have always been in the hacker sense or the cheater sense. So I do not. I take everything especially when they've been. It's kind of like the Patriots.
The Patriots of raiding.
Like if
That just made me sad.
if they're like if they've been caught cheating once, you're always going to assume they're cheating.
It's true. That's absolutely true.
And there's honestly a good chance that they are, and they just haven't been caught yet.
You gotta wonder when it's gonna like this. They seem like the guild that would get caught cheating. Like who's the guild that was using that got a world first kill? What was that?
You're talking about the account trading one?
No, I'm talking about the guild that got. I think it was actually world first Alone in the Dark on
Coven? No.
Mathis? No. This was a long time ago. Wrath of the Lich King, Alone in the Dark, Ulduar, Yogg-Saron. The guild that got world first Alone in the Dark, like cheesed it, like and cheated, and obviously used an in-game exploit, it was like and all got permanent banned. Because like you can't be cheating like that and misrepresenting your guild as the best in the world and whatnot. And I'm just like, when is that going to happen to Exorcist? Like, when are they going to get that permanent ban for just a bunch of bullshit that they've been doing?
Yeah, because you already get some of the people, like you get the bans for the real money trading and stuff like that, and the boosting, the account sharing.
Wasn't there somebody?
Serenity, I think.
Serenity disbanded. I thought. I didn't know if they got.
Yeah, they did.
I don't know.
A lot of players from a lot of guilds got hit with the short-term bans with during both Tomb and Nighthold for that kind of shit. So
I'm looking it up just because I'm so curious.
I don't know. The Mythic races.
Star. It was the guild Star, I believe. No, they got the first legitimate Alone in the Dark.
Okay, good. Well, because the other one that I remember was Lich King, and that one that was the one band that everyone kind of was ticked about. There was a guy who had the engineer bombs as part of his rotation that just broke it, and the platform didn't break. And it was
I remember that.
Like they lost their progress, and I think they got a ban. But it was like that one's a bit different. I mean, you can never know for certain if they knew that was what was happening or they just were confused, but still. But that was back, thinking back on it, I can't believe, because that was prior to Mythic being a tier. I mean, you were taught, the highest difficulty back then was 25-man Heroic.
Yep.
And I remember running that, and I don't remember it being as hard as the Mythic of today.
Okay, it was Exodus.
Exodus, okay.
Yeah, that was the guild that did the Alone in the Dark exploit with the... I'm reading about it, but it doesn't really matter anymore because this was fucking 10 years ago. So, but it was... yeah, so wow. I'm wondering when that kind of shit's gonna happen to Exorcist Tuesday. But...
Ooh, you got a bone to pick with that.
I wonder, though, because let's say that... Let's say that you've got Argus not getting any easier, right? So which means that you have to basically get more gear out of Mythic to get Argus down, which I think is the way that it should honestly be. Is that as you go farther into a raid, you need to have more and more gear out of that raid to get it down. But either way, that's beside the point that I was trying to get to. Let's say by Tuesday we've got, several people who have already killed Agrimar. In my opinion, because and if Argus it is so that Argus you have to get gear to kill him, then that means that you do have a true tie for first place right now, going into week 2, because it's all reset. I mean, and it's not like, these are Mythic raiding guilds that are at the top of their game. They're not going to go in next week and not get Agrimar down. They're going to go in and they're going to clear the 10 and keep working on 11, and that's what they're going to do every week until it gets done. Who can do it first? Who can complete it first? And what's even more interesting about this to me is that you've got people who are not really in it at this point in the game. They're not really in it normally in the Mythic race because they're still on Mistress Azine, and Method's already working on Kil'jaeden. We're not going to catch that, because of Avatar. Those guilds are catching that. It's crazy to me that it's a 9-way tie on Tuesday, and maybe even more on Tuesday if all of this stands. And I think that is really, really exciting. And partially I kind of hope that everything I'm saying is 100% verifiable or true, because then that makes me wonder, like, what's going on in the heads of Method now? You know, the defending champs, as it were. What's going on in their heads to be like, guys, like, are they going to day raid every day, every week until they get Argus down to make sure they get him first? You know, is anybody else going to try to day raid as much as they can to try to get that world first kill? Is it going to be one of those out of nowhere guilds, Big Dumb Guild, that are able to get it done? You know?
Yeah. I mean, I think one of the points to bring up for that, though, is like, if it's honestly, if the fight's not a RNG fight, which didn't seem to be, from watching, I believe that was Style War. I'm not sure, but I think the buddy who posted the thing said that he thinks it's Style War.
Okay.
Video. If they do, if based on that, it doesn't seem like there's that much RNG, which just means time on boss. So whoever's putting in the most time has a higher chance of it.
Then who was the first guild to pull him? Yo!
But that doesn't mean they've got the most time on.
That's true.
Because just because you pull them, you're not. If you're not day raiding,
just because you can rise early doesn't mean you can stay risen longest. I've heard it before.
Yep.
Yeah. No, but I don't know. I hope I would really like to. Part of me would like that story though. That story of, you know, an out of nowhere guild getting the world first, as long as it's not, you know, out of America.
One of the reasons why I don't think, this is why I hope it is a gearing problem and not a patch fix, because the bug fix, doesn't the US usually get those like on patch day first? If Limit gets it, it cheapens the victory. Because you just got the fix first, and we couldn't actually try it until later.
Yeah.
So that's why I hope it's actually like, no, Blizzard wanted to make a hard fucking boss, and they succeeded. They will nerf it eventually, because they always do.
Yeah, I'm sure. After the race is good and over, they'll nerf it down, so that way it's just not a pain in the dick for everybody to get the kill on.
It's going to see so many nerfs by the time we come around to pre-patch, to where it should be on the same level as Mythic Agmar, I would think. And I'm saying current Mythic Agmar, which is nothing to sneeze at based on how much time it took a lot of these people to kill him. So,
absolutely.
So did you, just a side note, because I'm a little distracted by your footage that you put up. Did we lose the raid footage from this week?
No, I have it. I just haven't downloaded it or anything yet.
Okay, yeah.
I probably could.
Life got busy.
Up. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a busy week. I feel like there was something I wanted to tell you, and I still haven't remembered. And it's almost the end of the show. I'll be damned. I'll be damned, Faye.
Oh.
I was just like, is there something I did in WoW? Did I get a new game? I didn't get a new game. I haven't done anything in WoW except like sit at a bar.
Was it more of your Fractured game that I gifted you?
Oh man, that is something I actually wanted to like clear up for people who pay attention to my channel that have been paying attention this week. Have noticed that I haven't done anything outside of Raid Night. It's I mean, I'll just be straight up about it. I started a new job recently, and this week it picked up, and I've been adjusting to the schedule, and so I've just been fucking exhausted all week, and next week it should be back on track, and I should have actual late streams going. But where this leads to is if I don't, like for me personally, if I don't have plans over the Christmas time frame of the few days around Christmas or whatever on any specific day, I'll probably spend a whole day doing Fractured But Whole and get it done. And I don't mean like get it done in the sense like this is work I need to get done. I mean in the sense that like I want to play this game really bad. I just haven't had time. But it's a really good game. But yeah, I haven't really been able to play it recently because I've just been tired and either that or handling guild stuff but it's gonna I'll be getting back on that wagon hopefully this week. Have some more late night raids, maybe a day or late night streams, maybe a day stream, but
maybe some classic Bray Faye tanking action raids.
That is actually something me and Faye are trying to do. So if I know that we haven't really talked about this much on the show, but I was the main tank of our guild for a very long time. Faye was my off tank for a good amount of time. Was it End of Emerald Nightmare?
Emerald Nightmare and I'm
part of Nighthold.
Yeah, pretty much Emerald Nightmare, and I was tanking Nighthold because you were away.
Right. And then I came in and you were still the tank for a while with me. And then we found out Nexy couldn't DPS and you could. And then you were like, all right, I'm out. And I was like, but yeah, no. But so it's fun when me and Faye get to tank together. We work really well together as a combo. So we might, if we do end up doing that this week, which is the plan at one point, because both of our tanks are our ults now. So we'd be doing it outside of the guild stuff, but still taking any guildies that want to come. But, we'll stream it. We'll stream it when we do it. And I'll try to give people a heads up via Twitter and whatnot. That'll be fun. That'll be a good time.
Yeah, no, it'll. The real question is, I'll probably end up going on my druid. I mean, it's not too much of a question,
Word.
but
Which tank?
there's the paladin, and there's the death knight, and there's the warrior, and there's the.
I know that feel.
Yeah.
All too much. I got the death knight, the demon hunter, the monk, the fucking warrior. All of it. The paladin, yeah, I got all of them now. Do I have all of them? I do have. And I've druid. Yep, I have all of them. Fuck, I did it. I did it.
Yep. Oh yeah, demon hunter. I completely forgot about that one.
Yeah.
That's the one that I have the most like fun on, but it's mostly because I enjoy the movement of. I like high movement classes.
I can understand that. I like death knight the most personally. Just because their hits feel legitimate.
The opposite of high movement.
I know, but and I hate that part of them. But like the way that they play is really fun to me. I really enjoy it. We'll do an episode about tanking. That's actually something we already had planned. We're going to do an episode about tanking at one point. What if I know you had you before the show you had some kind of different thing that other people might play that you wanted to talk about and tell me about.
Oh, yes.
And I think this is a good time to talk about it.
So I had very little internet, so I was playing Hearthstone a decent amount. And as a lot of people know, the internet part, not the Hearthstone part, I hope. But I haven't played Hearthstone in a long time, so my inventory is just garbage. But with the new expansion they released, Kobolds and Catacombs, they have this dungeon run versus AI mode that is really, really fun. It's interesting. Like,
wait, the new patch is out?
Yeah. Kobolds and Catacombs is out, man.
God, they release it all so fast. I can't keep up.
They do, but like this one, like the best part is like this one is there's no strings attached. It's free. You just go in and you get to do these competitions, and it's if you've ever played the card game Dominion, it has a bit of that feel of the deck builder game type play because you're starting with a small 10 card deck, and you get to choose passives every now and then you get to choose like sets of cards. Like they've got three different cards each time, and you're like, okay, which three do I want to add to my deck till you eventually get a full size deck at the end of it.
Is this
this is a game mode, a solo adventure game mode that they added with Kobolds and Catacombs.
That was my question.
And it's just a lot of fun to like if you don't enjoy the waiting game of Hearthstone, like I've done it, I already know what I'm going to play, like I already have my moves like 10 moves in advance to my opponent, and your opponent just takes like 10 minutes per turn or whatever. Like they let the rope run out every time, and it just drives you crazy. Like this lets you kind of play at your pace, and there are some challenging encounters. It definitely has a little bit of a my only disappointment is BlizzCon. They kind of showed it as this like D&D type thing, and I was hoping they'd have a bit more of that story, but I kind of figured they wouldn't.
And
but
they didn't.
It does have a bit of that feel, like you are going boss after boss after boss. I would have liked to see something that was actually like a map, and who knows, with this system in place, with this like, I could see them doing something in the future with it, and it's got me excited. And it's a good way. I think it's a decent time killer. You're not playing against actual human opponents, so you can leave whenever. Well, you have to complete the game, but you can pretty much like, oh, I'm just done for now, and just come back to it. It's a good time waster. And
would you say that this feels like a true expansion of the game, whereas something like, say, One Night at Karazhan felt more like you were just kind of doing same old card games, only against different bosses. Well, different bosses.
See, it's hard for me to, because you've got, I think of it in terms of like, because I played Magic the Gathering growing up and stuff like that, so I think of it kind of like the expansions are massive card packs. One Night in Karazhan was an adventure. Am I correct?
No, I think I think you're right.
So like the adventure ones never felt truly like expansions. The ones that were just card packs. This one definitely feels the most like an expansion, because you've got a new game mode. You've got a ton of new cards. You've got new passives on cards, essentially. Like, so you've got a lot of new stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's like one of the big things about the expansions for Hearthstone is like, and it is just bringing the new gameplay mode, and I'm not sure if it was an expansion or just no, it couldn't have been, because I can do it, and I haven't bought any of the Hearthstone's expansions. So the
they gave one of them for
the Tavern
free.
Brawl.
Okay, yeah, Tavern Brawls are another fantastic one.
Right.
Blizzard has, and this goes to Blizzard as a whole company. A lot of people can hate on them, but they went from, with each game they develop, they're not afraid to take concepts from the game, for better or for worse, and move them to their other games.
I love that about them. I really appreciate that about Blizzard, is that they don't have shame in that regard, and I don't think they should have shame, because
and
I love the PvP brawls in WoW. I love the
PvP
brawls and the mythic dungeons from Diablo. All
we've got so many systems that have come now. Like, I can name some bad ones, and they'll admit they're bad. Like, they took auction houses from WoW and tried to make them into real money auction houses in Diablo, and that was a bad idea. Hard. But Diablo 3 is, at this point, with all expansions, a fantastic game and really fun. I can't no life it like I could back then, because the story is repetitive. But if I ever get the urge to just go and mindlessly do action RPG of killing thousands and thousands and thousands of mobs, Diablo's my game, man. I've tried Path of Exile, I've tried Torchlight. They just don't have the same feel. For different reasons for each of them. But Diablo, I would like the art style to be a little bit darker, but it's still, everything has impact to me in that game right now. That was my problem with Path of Exile. No ability or attack you did felt like it had actual impact. The sounds were weak. The animations were weak. It just, Yeah.
I might have to check out Kobolds and Catacombs. So, it sounds fun to me.
Like the dungeon runs are completely free and include.
What's the price on that bad boy? That's the real question.
Nothing. It's for,
wait, Kobolds and Catacombs is free?
If you want to do dungeon runs, you can install Hearthstone right now and do a dungeon run.
It's my god,
completely free.
I'll be damned.
I'm honestly surprised that there is not even like a in-game goal attached cost to it. It's completely free.
Holy shit, I had no idea. This sounds like something. This sounds like something I might actually stream one of these nights. Just get really, really drunk and like say something on WoW in the front of the guild that makes me feel ashamed of myself. So I log off for a while. Boom, stream Hearthstone, and nobody will make fun of me on Twitch for streaming Hearthstone. So
and making bad decisions.
yeah, and not going for lethal because I don't know what that is. So I'm just kidding. I know what lethal is.
Oh man, this like. And it's got to be hard for some of those guys.
Yeah, there's no kidding, man.
like you're, especially the ones that you see them win tournaments. It's like people make mistakes, man.
They just go to bed at night being like, was XXX Sephiroth XXX right about that lethal? And they just, well, maybe I should kill myself. Oh God. Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, no, I would recommend like. Especially if you've got time to kill, and I mean, the phone interface is not bad. It's not great either. I mean,
I like it on the phone. I like it because I can take it anywhere.
It's good enough for government work. So
yeah, good enough for government work, everybody. Awesome. I'll have to check that out. I like that it's free.
Yeah,
that's good. That's
good.
Yeah,
no, I was expecting some sort of entry price, but. No, I haven't spent a dime on Hearthstone since
sick.
One of the expansions. I think I bought a pack or two.
Sick.
There goes my mic.
Okay.
Oops, sorry.
It's okay. We're not doing anything important.
It's not like we're doing a podcast or anything.
Nothing that requires too much vocal activity. Just a reminder for everybody that this week is weekly bonus event Time Walking for Cataclysm. This is your chance to, there's no mounts associated with this. Save up tokens for the next available mount. Yeah, if you don't have it. Outside of that, we're looking at 7.3.5 coming in mid-January.
Next, yeah. Well, I mean... You can expect it at the earliest sometime in January because
it's not coming out this year.
The last week of Antorus doesn't even LFR doesn't even unlock until January, so like you've got some time.
Yeah. Got any other games you want to talk about before we call tonight?
No, I mean I really didn't get much chance to play anything else with the
power being out.
Yeah, I mean, I played a little bit of Breath of the Wild until my battery died on my Switch.
Yeah, I'm jealous. God, I want a Switch so bad. I need to get one of those. All right, Faye. They're
fun. Yeah.
Then it's time for me to propose a bet.
Oh, another one.
And I want to see if you accept this one. I wanted to wait because the stakes, they are high. They're very high because I am not.
Don't give them drugs, then.
I am not betting you gold. Faye, if Limit does not get the world first, because I believe in them, if they do not get the world first, I will come to Atlanta, Georgia within the next month and take you to see Star Wars, the next movie, because I get to choose the movie because I'm making this bet. If Limit does get world first, what are you gonna do? That's the question. And then do we make this bet? I'm offering to come to Atlanta, my friend, and we can meet there because that's close enough to you.
Yeah. Oh. Man, that's a long drive.
I ain't worried about driving.
Oh no, I was thinking of if I did the same the other direction. I mean, the easy way out for me would be just be like, oh yeah,
I'll do that thing you said.
No. I would be like, yeah, I'll just offer to buy you any game $60 or max cap on Steam or BattleNet or whatever. But that doesn't seem like the same amount of value unless you'd be willing to.
Because price of gas, yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah.
You talked yourself out of it, Faye. Good job.
I talked you out of it. You mean?
Yeah, basically. I guess I mean you talked your way out of that whole being a solution for you.
Man.
Sorry.
White
Oh my god. Oh my god. That's funny. I was so ready to accept that. I'm like, wait a minute, I would be spending way more on gas than that.
Oh
shit.
Let's see. Give me a half second. I got to do some math.
It's all good. You could buy my BlizzCon ticket. You could. No, I'm just kidding.
I tried to buy my own BlizzCon ticket and couldn't even succeed at that because they sold out so damn quick.
We're gonna find a way to go this year. Somehow, some way, we'll find a way to go to BlizzCon. Stay tuned for Brain Face Excellent Adventure. God,
that's my best impression.
No, we already did the thing with the other thing that might get us sued by that one company. We're not doing this one. All right.
Don't you want to do the thing from that Bill and Ted's movie?
Guitar lick. We could. Maybe once.
That was what I tried to do. It was terrible. Okay, so let's see. That's a.
It doesn't help that I sprang this on you in the middle of the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
gave you no time to think about
like roughly about 600 miles of it.
Oh, whoops. I need to put another video.
9 hours. Oof. Oh, man.
You can make it faster than 9 hours. Can you? Wait a minute. How long did it take me? Oh,
I don't know if you drove actually from. I'm just doing city to city.
I did my city to your city a ton of times when I was over the road.
Yeah.
I think 9 hours is actually about right. Now that I think about it. Because I feel like there were times whenever I was like, I'm going to stop for the night and finish tomorrow, which usually means it's borderline 10 hours.
Yeah. So, I mean, for me, that's a long drive. But that's about 2 weeks of gas.
Jesus!
I could probably do it.
Oh, shit. So
I don't know what we do in St. Louis. Up
we
there.
could go see Star Wars
again.
Well, no, I'm saying because we wouldn't have gone and seen it the first time if you win the bet, or if I win the bet, we wouldn't have gone and seen it the first time.
I mean, if that's what you want to be on the other side. Now, the only issue is I can't guarantee time frame.
Yeah, that's fair. That's definitely, especially considering the thing exploding or whatever.
Yeah,
the game will be fine. Fuck it, I'm being picky.
There's no guarantee that you don't like that movie will still be available when I'm free to get up there. But yeah, no, I'll agree to
travel for travel bet.
Travel for travel bet. Yep.
So you are that confident that Limit's not going to win it?
In my only thing that I think that could cause him to win it is if it's a bug fix and it goes out first for US. But I've got a whole bunch of other teams in my pocket, including a cheating team. So
oh my God, he's right. What have I done? Oh no, I did it again. I screwed myself again. Oh man, it looks like I'm gonna be going to Atlanta.
That's where the players play.
Shut the fuck up, Faye. Anyways. All right. Anyways, you gonna be doing anything on the Twitches? Just fucking plug your Twitch channel. Fuck it.
Yeah, the twitch.tv/thisfay. I don't know. I'll probably be streaming the same raid night for Heroic from the perspective of a good DPS.
Yeah. Oh, fuck you. I just remembered I'm DPS. Dick.
Or I might just plug your channel for that. And yeah. I don't know. I've been debating. I just don't have like it's such a streaming really is a time commitment that
It is.
I have yet to make.
Definitely is.
And we've got this week we've got construction going on at the house for the repairs. So who knows if I can actually stream without having background noise.
Oh my god, I know that pain.
So we'll see. I make no promises right now.
It's a miracle we can get these Sunday nights where it's like there's no really loud noises going on behind me. It's really nice. But yeah, I'm hoping we had a young dog that has come of age, and she just got spayed this week, and so she's been barking a lot because we're keeping her in her cage so that she can heal, and she barks a lot whenever her medication starts to wear off. So it's like when are you medicating her? 8 o'clock. Okay, perfect. Like, but yeah, as far as myself goes, raid nights is every Tuesday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. West Coast time, 7 p.m. Mountain time, 8 p.m. Central time, and 9 p.m. Eastern time. So tune in for that. That is a laugh riot, I've been told by people who actually watch it regularly now. That our rating stream or the raid in general is just a laugh riot. So
we do so much stupid shit.
Oh my god, yeah, we get everything accomplished, but like we goof off and have a lot of fun throughout the raid.
We are not the most efficient. Like honestly, if we didn't goof off as much, I think we'd already be done with heroic.
It's very possible, man. It's very possible that we would be a lot farther than we are, but like it wouldn't have been anywhere near as much fun. But yeah, so, and also, like, if you do watch that stream, be sure to say something in chat. Say hi, because I read chat. Every time I stream, I keep an eye on chat. I have 3 monitors, so that I can keep an eye on chat.
Mr. Fancy Pants with 3 monitors.
One of them's a TV! But that's the one I play WoW on. No, but yeah, so, that's going to be happening, and I'm going to be rolling out a new stream schedule soon. This should be happening at one point. I played this trailer like 4 times, but anyways, it's pretty. Fuck it. I'm going to be rolling out a new stream schedule that should be coming out sometime next week. It might actually be one of the days of the raid nights. But basically, so here's where I'm at, everybody, for anybody who watches that anywhere. On my, hey, look, I have 3 monitors, that's just excessive, XD. Boom, mentioned you from chat. That's Mr. or Mrs. H.J. Strom 007. Cool name. Thanks for watching, friend. Anyways, that was a terrible mention, I'm sorry. So, let me get real, though. I have considered what, like, being a at least part-time streamer is, in the sense of like the stress and the work that goes into it, along with being a part-time YouTuber, which is something I am also working on slowly. And
splitting yourself too far.
Exactly. It's a lot of work. And so I'm going to be less than part-time YouTuber is what I landed on, and focus more on Twitch because I enjoy streaming more. But I still want to make videos from time to time on YouTube, which is, those will happen at their own pace. As far as Twitch goes, though, that's where I want to like put effort in. And one of the reasons is and this is like, I'm gonna actually kind of give hats off to Twitch here because they have made a motivating product. I have completed 3 out of 4 of the requirements to become an affiliate for Twitch. The final requirement means I have to get 40 more followers on Twitch, and once I have that, I will be eligible to become an affiliate. So, with that said, that is something I'm actually going to be working on, is seeing if I could become an affiliate, mostly because I don't know what an affiliate is, and I'm interested to find out. Like, it seems kind of silly, but like, from what I understand, like, different things become possible on Twitch when you're an affiliate, so if all I need, because I have the audience retention numbers, and I have the hours streamed, and I have the number of something else, I can't remember what it is, but
games posted.
Sure, yeah, I have all of that crap that's required, other than the followers. So we might see like follower campaign streams happening, essentially, which is where I stream for a really long time, trying to get stragglers in. And I'm also considering like just selling myself out to my friends and just being like, "Hey guys, this is what I want for Christmas." No, no, but
all I want for Christmas is a Twitch
Twitch affiliate. All you want for Christmas is twitch.tv/Altivia. But yeah, so
I don't really want that for Christmas. I think I'd like a Lamborghini, but I'll take what I can get.
You know what? I'll actually just take the winning lottery ticket for Christmas. Twitch is cool and everything, but winning lottery ticket sounds like it would be fun. But yeah, tell me what you want for Christmas if you're watching this on YouTube. Leave it in the comments, because all of these videos get uploaded to Altivia's YouTube page, which I don't have a URL for because I don't have 100 subscribers. So it's all small.
Days.
Yeah, I know, right? It's all small. But be sure to check us out and stuff. Yeah, I think that's going to do it for us, isn't it, Faye? That's this week of No Loot. So next week, what do we have in store next week on No Loot Sundays? Has this been decided yet? Is there even going to be a show? Find out next week. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.
Yep.